Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you do not already know, my name is Reid Nicholson, also known as Reid Your Realtor, and I am a real estate agent in the West Michigan area. Now, in today's video, what I wanted to talk about is just giving a quick breakdown of what a first-time home buyer or just home buyer in general can expect to pay in closing costs once they're actually closing on the home that they'd like to purchase. Basically, I want to give a real general overview of what those costs will look like, what affects those costs, and how it kind of all shakes out for the check that you end up bringing to the closing table. So, with that said, let's get into it. Okay, so the first loan I have pulled up here would be on a $250,000 house with a conventional loan. Now, I did pull up here a few different breakdowns for you. So you're looking at a 30-year fixed rate with a 10% down payment, a 30-year fixed rate with a 20% down payment, and then a 15-year fixed rate with a 10% down payment. Right about here, you can see that you can compare the monthly payments for each loan type. And a lot of this is based off of, one, how long is the fixed years that you're going to be paying the loan for, and then two would be how much are you putting down. Those both come into big factors when you're looking at your monthly payment. As you can see here though, a 30-year fixed rate with 10% down is going to run you about $1,600 a month. If you put 20% down, that decreases your monthly payment, which is great. That would actually end up costing you about $1,400 a month. Now, when you go to a 15-year, that actually increases your monthly payment because you are paying off more of the loan quicker. Well, with that said, on a 15-year fixed rate with 10% down, you're looking at about a $2,100 per month monthly payment, which is great. Now, if we really want to go even more into depth, what we can do here is look at the breakdown of how the numbers actually work. Okay, so as you can see here, we got our purchase price, $250, perfect. Down payment, since we're putting down 10%, is going to be $25,000. The loan amount that you're going to get on that is $225,000. We're going at an interest rate of 5.25 right now. That's an estimate, and again, this is just a generic example. So, but that's actually pretty accurate to where we're at in the market right now. As of the date that we're recording this, which is April 28th, 2022. And then your closing costs, so this is going to be like title fees, things for doing your title work, and just general closing costs. That's going to run you about $822. So in the end of everything, what you're basically looking at paying at close is going to be right around $25,822. With that closing cost, your lender costs are also included with that. After that, you can also see what your total investment would be over that 30-year period. That's probably not a number you wanted to see, but that is how it breaks down with interest being involved. That 5.25% interest rate does not help. So you may purchase the home for $250,000, but if you pay it off the full 30-year amount or time frame, you're gonna end up actually paying in total. Now, I hope that that breakdown gives you a little bit better idea of what the prices are, what the costs are, and kind of gives you a more general idea of what you would be paying if this was something that you were looking at doing and this was a price point that you were looking at. Now, same thing with the 30-year fixed with 20% down. The only difference here, well, one is the closing costs, and then as well as the end payment you make on the total investment over that 30-year period. It is significantly less, so you save a bit more money, but you're also putting a bit more down on the front end. Again, if you want, you can compare these numbers back and forth here. You can just pause the video, but yeah, either way. And then the 15-year fixed rate with the 10% down, this is where things will get even better for you in the long run. So same thing, 10% down, that's $25,000. That's going to make your loan amount $225 with an interest rate about 4.75%. Now the reason that's lower is because you have a shorter time frame that it's going to take you to actually end up paying it off. So that's the reason that that interest rate's a little bit lower than what the other two are at. But with that said, you can see closing costs estimated are going to be right around $776, and your cash to close would be about $25,776. Now, between the two 10% down loans, your closing costs don't necessarily change. The big difference with the 20% down here is you're putting an extra 10% down, so you're putting an extra $25,000 down. So that's the big difference there, if you didn't catch that. The huge difference, though, is over that 15-year period with the higher monthly payment, obviously you're going to pay the home off quicker, and that's going to save you a ton in money, especially with the lower interest rate on top of that. So as you can see here, between a 20-year or a 30-year 10% down to a 15-year 10% down, there is a major difference in how much you pay over the span of those two types of loans. Again, this is just a generic breakdown, but they are great estimates and just numbers to kind of base what you're looking at if you are just starting off in this process. So I hope that helped you. And then I'm also going to give you another comparison on an FHA 3.5% down loan, because if you are a first-time home buyer, that is most likely the type of loan that you're going to be looking at. So I also wanted to give a breakdown of that. So let's jump into that one, and then we can get a little bit more in-depth on those numbers as well. Okay, so here is the loan comparison for the same purchase price of $250,000. The only difference here is, one, the loan type. This one is actually an FHA loan, and the down payment. So this is an FHA loan with a 3.5% down payment on a $250,000 home in the West Michigan area. So let's jump into it. Right here you can see the 30-year fixed rate right off the bat. It's going to be at about 3.5% down. So if you come to here, your down payment's looking at about $8,750. Now that's going to give you a loan amount of $241,000. Interest rate will be about the same as the conventional loan, and your closing costs are a bit more because this is a riskier type of loan, and there's some more costs and research that go into actually allowing you to have that loan. So that will include your lender costs again, and any other miscellaneous closing costs, title fees, things like that. Anyways, the cash to close that you end up bringing on a 30-year FHA 3.5% down $250K loan is about $10,305. It's a lot more affordable, but when you go and compare that to the conventional side of things, you are paying a lot more over that 30-year span of the loan. So that is just something to consider. The more down payment that you can afford, obviously the better and cheaper your home is going to be over the long run. Now, this is also something I wanted to include. We did a 3% down conventional 30-year loan on the same $250,000 price point. You can see your monthly payment right there. There's not too much fluctuation from the FHA version. And your down payment on this one is going to be looking at about $7,500. So you're going to be looking at a loan amount of about $242, same interest rate, and your closing costs are about to be about $1,035, and your cash to close is right here, coming in at about $8,535. Now the reason that's cheaper is because you did less of a down payment. You only did 3% instead of 3.5% on the FHA right here. But that's basically how the numbers break down, and here's kind of what you can see that does for you over the long run, or over the span of your loan, how much you actually end up paying in total at the end of that loan. Not a huge difference from the FHA 30-year, but the conventional 30-year, I will say this: if you can get a conventional loan, it is a lot more appealing to sellers, especially in this crazy market we're in right now. It is a lot more appealing to sellers if you can have a conventional loan. That kind of comes back to the guidelines that those loans require to actually obtain the loan. I won't get into that now. Just know that a conventional loan is a lot more appealing to a seller than an FHA. Nonetheless, though, those are the breakdowns there, and this is a really good comparison of FHA to conventional loans and how those numbers actually break down. Lastly is the 15-year fixed 3.5% down FHA loan on the 250K home. Now, as you can see right here, right off the bat, your monthly payment's going to be a lot more. Again, that comes down to you're cutting the loan length in half. So that's why you're going to see a big increase on your monthly payment. But if we jump into what the actual costs are, they stack up pretty well to the rest. So you're looking at a down payment of about $8,750, same as over here. Your loan amount's going to be the same as over here then. Your interest rate is significantly lower, but that's because you are, again, having a 15-year loan instead of a 30-year. And your closing costs are just short of about $1,500. So your end all cash to close is going to be about $10,204 right here. And your total investment over those 15 years saves you a significant amount of money if you can afford that monthly payment, coming in at $360,645. So, you know, you can go back to the video, compare it to the FHA loans, 10% down, to these loans right here. Kind of get more numbers based up in your head. I hope that that will give you more insight on what the closing costs actually look like as a buyer, what you can generally expect, and yeah, I just hope it gives you more insight and adds a little bit more value in your home search and your home buying journey. So if it did actually do that, I'd love to hear a comment below on what you thought about this video, if it was informational, if it helped you, if it just gave you better insight. That would be awesome. I'd love to hear about it. And if you are starting your home buying journey and would like some help along the way, I am a realtor, like I said in the beginning of the video, in the West Michigan area, and I would love to sit down with you either at my office, or coffee will be on me, and we can talk a little bit more about what you're looking for. We can compare numbers like this to give you a really good idea of the whole process and what to expect at the end of it. Again, though, hope this video helped. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I really appreciate you watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Peace.